Hello, Steven Universe fans, and welcome to another episode of the AFTERBUZZ TV Steven Universe After Show. We'll be covering episodes 110 and 111, as well as the recently released shorts, and we'll see you after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
There is something wild about having an actual LA local artist in an episode.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. Singing about the suburbs, nostalgia.
They've only existed for like 70 years.
Yeah, I said, what was the comment again?
Something like that. I wrote down so many Pearl comments from that episode. It's pretty glorious. Hello, Steven Universe fans. Welcome back to the AFTERBUZZ TV Steven Universe After Show. We're looking at episodes 110 and 111 because we're back on hiatus after that, evidently, for reasons we cannot fathom. And we're also looking at the recently released iTunes shorts. So we've got all sorts of fun stuff to talk about tonight. With me tonight is the wonderful Emma Fyffe.
Hi, that's me. My name is Emma Fyffe. I can be found all over the internet at my name, Emma Fyffe, E-M-M-A-F-Y-F-F-E.
The glorious Megan Salinas.
Hey guys, I'm just grooving over here. You guys can tweet at me at @themenguin. That's TheMenguin.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. We have the live chat up. We have the hashtag ABTVSU on Twitter. So if you've got something to say, if you have any questions, throw them in there and you may well get a shout out. We're back on hiatus again.
Yeah.
I feel like we need the sad trumpet, the bum bum bum.
You know, I'm disappointed.
That's the one.
That too.
Thank you. That was fantastic. I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I feel like the Stephen Nuke was a lot to process. I would have rather gotten a consistent airing schedule than a ton at once and then hiatus again.
I agree with you. As much as I was definitely enjoying having so many new episodes and doing a show every week, which was super fun, I do agree. I would have settled for a consistent airing schedule. I've heard some rumors as to why we're on hiatus. It mostly has to do with pirating and things leaking. So stop being bad, internet.
I'd heard that it was someone within the studio that was leaking.
That's also very possible. So,
yeah,
guys.
Which is a problem. Please don't do the thing.
Yeah.
But we also have people in Europe and people in Canada and people in China get things more quickly than we do, despite them being American-made production. There's about 3 shows that I watch where everyone across the pond or across the borders has more than we do right now, and it's like, I don't know what you want. We're a global community at this point.
Every industry needs to stop pretending like we're not a global industry.
Yeah.
You know, that it's not a global market.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, before we really hit the ground running, I just wanted to say happy birthday to Angelica Gomez in the chat.
Oh, hey, happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Hope you have a good time.
Yeah. I was just going to say, the video game industry can get their act together and release games in different languages at the same time, so I don't know what we're doing.
I don't know.
Could not tell you.
They didn't ask me, guys.
I know, right? Obviously, we know everything about the industry.
Or even Japan with a lot of their anime releases with simulcasting. Yeah, you can't get an English dub right away, but you get the English subs at least.
Released in places where you can legally watch them.
How about
Ta-da!
that?
It's
a magical thing.
Stuff and things and stuff. Anyway, we are looking at tonight, last one out of Beach City and Onion Gang, which I thought was it was an odd episode to leave off on, but it was also kind of a fitting end of summer.
Sure,
we're leaving you now.
That's true.
It's time for the fall to start.
Yeah.
And we also have the little cadre of shorts, Cooking with Lion, Gem Karaoke, Steven Reacts, Video Chat, and Steven Song Time.
Yes.
And I'm going to be that person. I want to start with Steven Reacts.
Fine.
I love it. I'm also so mad.
It's a little upsetting, for anybody who does reaction videos.
Because for a while, if anyone subscribes to my channel on YouTube, for the longest time, we did do reaction videos to Steven Universe, and they keep getting taken down because Turner, the company that owns things, basically says, you're using our audio, you can't use it, and has decided that fair use doesn't apply to reaction videos, even when you don't have the actual video footage in there, and literally no one is going to watch your video instead of watching the episode itself. So we had to stop or risk my channel getting shut down.
Right.
So on one hand, I love that they are in touch with all of this, and they know we do reaction videos, and they have everything. The crying, the crack about the airing schedule, the I didn't think we'd be getting this, the I know what this is. Like, it's definitely we've seen reactors, we know how this works, and it's hilarious. But I'm so mad because so many Steven Universe reactors are getting shut down.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's funny, but it's also kind of a slap in the face.
Yeah. I did enjoy Steven's little wink at the end to the hiatus thing about crying breakfast friends.
Who knows when that'll be, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I will say, in regards to that episode, and specifically the episode of Crying Breakfast Friends that he was watching, I was like very emotionally like traumatized by it, because I don't know what it is for me, but stories about like someone who has planned an event and then nobody comes are just like the worst.
Been there, done that.
It is the absolute worst thing. You know, you spend all this time prepping for a party and nobody came.
Yeah. And then the very obvious fusion joke.
Yes.
In the bit, like, yep. It was a great short. It really was. And very obviously the Crewniverse is in touch with their fans. They know what we do. They know what we like. And that was very obviously a for the fans thing.
Yeah.
It just kind of hurts because the fans keep getting shut down.
The thing to keep in mind is that's not
their intent.
No, it's not up to the creator.
Yeah, it's not.
I know.
It is 100%, you know, a corporation saying, yeah, no, that's our intellectual property. It can't be used in this way. So anybody complaining to the creators about this particular short, please don't do that. It's not their fault.
No, it's not their fault. I thought this was hysterical. It also is just like, oh, I'm in pain.
Yeah.
I used to be you.
Oh, Steven.
Such is life. Do we want to hit the rest of the shorts and then move on to the episode?
Sounds good to me.
Let's go ahead.
All right, Cooking with Lion. I love that Steven...
Oh my God. I'm not kidding, guys. I legitimately want to try to make snack sushi now.
I feel like we should.
I don't even like cheese puffs, but I'm like, maybe with rice and like the spicy mayo, I think that might be all good.
There have been a few like recipes that I've seen in cartoons where I'm like, could that work?
Yeah.
I want to try this. Could that work? And this is definitely one of them. Especially like putting the spicy mayo on it. I'm like, oh, that's
And it's all up on the side because it's fancy. It's like, you have just cracked the code for every fancy restaurant I've ever been to.
Yeah.
All like 3 of them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I would love to see if anyone has done this. And I'd love to set aside time to try it myself.
Yeah.
It seems hilarious, and I love that Steven has his own little YouTube channel and does all these things. Does the unboxing. Tube, that's right.
Yeah.
He does the unboxing and the reaction video and the cooking videos and just lying.
And we know that from Restaurant Wars that he actually is a very skilled cook.
Yeah.
Because I guess he has to cook for himself most
All the
nights.
time.
All the time. Well, because, you know, his dad's not always around and the gems don't eat. So.
Well, and I'm pretty sure Greg is good at like canned soup and waffles.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably great at waffles.
Oh, man. I bet Greg makes some bomb waffles.
Greg waffles, everything on them. That's where we got the together breakfast from.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a few
Inspired
people who
by
are
Dad.
hungry in the chat.
I know. Well, I'm hungry now, too.
I know. I could definitely go for another snack. I can go for waffles.
I just waited in line at the world's slowest McDonald's, so I'm fine. But yeah, no, we should actually get together and make that.
Yeah, I'm so down.
Works. And did you see the other recipes were for the, what was it, the dog nut? The donut with all the...
Yes!
And that actually was on a poster in Last One Out of Beach City as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And the breakfast. Oh my God, I'm losing words tonight, you guys. It's been a long
Crying
night.
Breakfast Friends?
No, the Together Breakfast was one of the other click here to watch the video things.
And I liked that next week we're doing the Cookie Cat.
Yes! Like Cookie Cat ice cream sandwiches.
Do they make Cookie Cat ice cream sandwiches like,
feel like
for
they
real,
should.
for real? Because
They need to, I think.
they should be for sale. Like in 7-Eleven right now.
I mean, it's basically Neapolitan ice cream sandwiches in funny shapes.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
fight, win.
I feel like I could make Cookie Cat ice cream sandwiches personally. So that's clearly that's my YouTube channel now. It's just gonna be make all the food you see on Steven Universe.
Yes, I am down.
If anyone wanted to create a YouTube channel where it's just food exclusively seen on television, like
Someone already did
have a
that.
have a Game of Thrones episode, that would be super.
Oh yeah, no, people have channels where they recreate the dishes in media. There's one of them
would love
did
to
jelly
subscribe.
donuts that look like rice balls because of Pokemon dubbing.
I've heard of that.
I told you about it.
Yeah,
Can
no,
we all
and-
just agree that we want pizza that looks as good as it does in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Absolutely. Yes. I literally blame Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for my love of pizza. Like, I don't think I would like pizza as much as I do
because
if it
we were
weren't
brainwashed into loving it as children.
Yes.
And then Renji in the chat says bacon pancakes. Like, yep.
Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes. But speaking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one recipe that they have in the new show that I've wanted to try, pizza gyoza.
Oh my
yeah.
God. Didn't you say you found a recipe?
I found a recipe. I have not had the chance to try it yet. I need it in my life, though.
I know we need to do this. And the other thing I adored about this, Lion. Just being a cat, just the blep and the grooming himself on camera. That was a lot of tuna.
Yeah.
And then you threw it up in my shoes, and I'm like, being a cat owner, summarized.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 2 cats, and Lion's behavior is very, very similar to just how my cats would behave if I was like, guys, we're going to make a show.
And
I would hope that you wouldn't have cats up on the table where you could.
No.
They sure think that they're allowed to be there, but I disagree with them.
Squirt bottle. I kid you not. Whereas if anyone watches our videos, they've already met Winter because our cat's like, oh, you're doing something. No, you're not. Pet me. Like, okay, you're our third host. So yeah, she's
Such a diva.
she is. Oh my God. I'm just gonna sit here and talk about my cat.
Welcome to Cat Cast, guys.
When we talk about cats.
It's just Lion, very, very much a cat, and Steven doing Lion's voice.
Yes.
I think everyone does that for their pets. Everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, there wasn't a lot to Gem karaoke, but it was still just super cute.
Yeah, it was really cute. And I like that, you know, they convinced Connie to jump in for the end, and she just like really like took over and flourished.
Oh, yeah. It was just a nice little family moment.
Yeah.
And I loved that. Occasionally you really like that, and it was nice to use a short for that purpose.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Well, not to mention that we love any chance we get for the Gems to sing is always a wonderful, wonderful day.
Yeah.
And this is such a fun song. You know,
Yeah.
I'm glad that they decided to use that song again
yeah.
for the purposes of karaoke.
And I love every time that Garnet is like involved in the fun stuff. You know what I mean? Not that she's not fun, she is, but like she's definitely like this character that everyone aspires to be.
She's this
She
pillar
is
of
Space
coolness.
Mom.
Yeah, and so like for example, in the Future Boy one, I loved that she was the one that jumped in there and was like, sure, you can use my like future sight powers. Like I love when she's like, yeah, cool, I'll play along. This sounds great.
I love when the future vision just comes back as
Yeah.
a joke. Like you occasionally sit there and go, oh yeah, she knew.
She knows exactly how it's going to play out.
And I love that the song is basically Steven Universe Party in the USA.
Yeah,
It kind of
is that the song that Sadie was singing in Sadie's
Yes.
song when she
Yes,
was cleaning?
it is.
That's
It's the
what I
one where
thought.
Steven
Yeah.
came out in a dress and
Yes.
performed in front of the whole town, and it's one of my favorite moments in the entire series.
Yes.
Because it's incredible.
Yeah.
And right now, chat's just talking about a Steven Universe and Ruby crossover. It started with a Neapolitan joke and went from there. Y'all are going to need to send me a transcript of this later because I want in. We have, God, video chat was probably my favorite.
fantastic.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because for a brief moment there, it got real.
It did.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I mean, Peridot has become my favorite character because
Magneto Dorito.
yeah, because it's just so fun to see her figuring out human life. And that was the thing. It's like once she like committed to the fact that she's like, I'm living on Earth, like this is my life now, she started to, you know, try to figure out all the sort of idiosyncrasies of being a human. And so the video chat thing and her figuring out how to make the internet work in the barn was just so funny. And then to have that juxtaposition with Lapis of who's also in her own way embraced living on Earth but has not like figured out people at all, but is naturally more inclined to be better at interacting with people than Peridot is. But to have Lapis be like, Steven, oh no, you're trapped in a box, I'm gonna save you.
Well, Lapis's frame of reference is being stuck in a flat
Yeah.
thing, barely able to communicate. So this is Steven being stuck in a flat thing, presumably Peridot's off-brand iPad.
Who did this to you?
Your gem's not on here. I'll get you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, also Steven ran to the barn real fast. Like, wow, kid.
Warp pad?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe. Who even knows? But yeah, I just, for a moment, you have like, oh, this is Lapis's frame of reference. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's funny, but the reason it's funny is because of something very sad.
Yes. Agreed.
That makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you have to know the characters. Like on the surface, they're like, oh, it's funny. One of them things together is trapped in a screen. And if you know them, you're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, once she knows that that's not the case, you know, it's not like she dwells on this. She's gotten to such a wonderful, like, I don't know about happy place, but she's definitely seems more content than I think we've ever seen her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's snarky. I love it. Like, these two being the odd couple is one of my favorite things the show has done recently.
I love it. I'm into it.
Just because they're such a weird mix of personalities, but they're just perfect for each other.
They are.
Yeah. Now that they're on the same page, they work so well.
Mm-hmm. And just the last detail of this that I loved, Skype cutting out.
Yes.
And Peridot's essentially extended noodle incident story. And then it bit me. And that's how I got the internet to work.
And it's like, we missed half the story, so you still don't really know how she got the internet to work in the barn.
Like 85% of that
I feel
story.
like she had to grapple with a creature that was living in the barn.
Or in the lawnmower.
Yeah.
Lawnmower gremlins. Evil things.
Fact.
So, yeah, that was well worth it. And then our last one is Steven's Song Time.
Aww.
Which, back to Steven's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Most of these are Steven's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the moment where, you know, a fan goes ahead and puts that song because he put up the keys and everything
I
like that.
would not be surprised if it's already happened.
Yeah, no.
Given that these shorts have been out for, what, less than a week?
They came out October 3rd, so that was Monday?
Oh, yeah,
Tuesday?
less than a
Whatever
week.
day that was.
Yeah.
That
I
was
don't know
Monday.
what day today
Monday.
is.
Yeah.
Today's the 6th, guys.
What is time? Was it Monday? That might have
Tuesday. Nope.
Tuesday
Monday.
was not the 3rd.
Monday was
What
the 3rd, guys.
day is
Got it. It was definitely Monday.
Today is the 6th, and it's a Thursday.
Yes, they came out on Monday. It was great. It was beautiful.
How many AfterBuzz hosts does it take to figure out a calendar?
It's a date. Yeah, that's how calendars work.
This song, though, for me, I just related to this so much because I've always been, you know, especially when I was a little kid, I was very, very overly emotional, and I had a very difficult time, like, talking about and dealing with my feelings. I mean, I still do as an adult. So the fact that he was like, I've got all these feelings inside of me and I'm having a hard time, you know, talking about them. So I'm trying to put them in a song to make it easier to communicate. And I was like, oh, you and me both, bro.
And
Now play along with my emotions.
Yeah.
And it's you can definitely tell he's definitely a teenager now at this point because he's singing about mom and then just that it hits that point in the song where he starts to cry and it's just like I have so many feelings because I wasn't musically able when I was a teenager, and to this day I'm definitely not. So I can't express myself through music, but I was definitely the type of teenager that loved to listen and sing my heart out to all the angsty stuff.
How could this happen to me?
That didn't come out until I was in college, so no. But
Oh, I'm sorry. Crawling in.
Linkin Park was a little bit more accurate. Yeah.
Linkin Park is really good for that, even still today. Just like, nope, gonna crank it. I'm mad. Let's do this.
But it's not just an angsty song, as they're pointing out in the chat. It's still a hopeful song.
Yeah.
There's all this, you know. There's a lot of emotional weight, and we see it, and we'll talk about it in one of the episodes. There's still a lot of emotional baggage that Steven is working through right now, but there's still this unending sense of optimism too. To go with it.
Yeah, I think what I wrote down was, "Oh, child, you have problems and a great voice."
Yeah.
So many
That's
problems.
it. That's the show.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, you know, anytime you are taking an emotional situation and, you know, putting it in the scenario of, okay, we're explaining this and working through this in a song, like there is a certain degree of hopefulness to it because, you know, music is meant to like make you feel things in a way that you can't necessarily process with words, but it helps. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I really liked it.
Yeah.
There's something about music.
Music without lyrics can still affect you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I just love the way he signs off with, I love you.
Yeah.
Like you're talking to people on your YouTube channel. That's so sweet.
Like, I would watch your YouTube, like all of it. You can just imagine someone halfway across the world being like, I have no idea who this kid is or where he lives, but wow.
I listen to enough independent artists on YouTube that a lot of them do kind of sign off with a very similar, like, thank you, like, I love you guys are great, because the people who watch their videos are so supportive.
They
Peter
are,
Hollins, right?
and it's enabling people that I'm gonna just get really existential about the state of the entertainment world today, but I mean that is the thing that is so nice with platforms like YouTube and like Twitch and with podcasts. It's like you now have the ability to just create and have people consume it. You know, that gap between creator and consumer is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller, and now you do have all of these people who can very instantly support you. Like if you have an art and you have people that are consuming it through the internet, and they're supporting you, like enabling you to keep doing what you're doing, and even if it's not necessarily lucrative right from the get-go or anything, though there's certainly the ability to make money in the internet. You still, there is something to be said about having fans and that kind of emotional support from knowing that there are people out there that are like listening to you or watching you, and they like you're making their day better, and they communicate that to you, and it's
hearing that people listen and care in turn makes you go, oh gosh, I care too.
Well, I was at the Streamies the other night talking with people on the red carpet. I know, right? Hey, like humble brag. No, there's a point. And one of the things I'd ask them was, what do you want to say to your fans? And every single one of them to a T, thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without you. I love you guys. Thank you for your support. And so many of them were like, I'm on a red carpet. This is crazy. You guys put me here.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're people like us.
I know. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I talked to Thomas Sanders and had a small meltdown. So that... Fangirl moment, that was a thing, and it occurred, and we're moving on to the last two episodes we're going to get for the foreseeable future, question mark?
I don't know. There is a Steven Universe panel at New York Comic Con this weekend. I don't know. I don't think it happened today. I think it's tomorrow or Saturday.
All the big ones are tomorrow.
Yeah.
Voltron, Steven Universe.
I was going to say, I know the person who was moderating it was flying in this morning, so...
hopefully not today, then.
Otherwise that would be a lot. But anyway, so hopefully there will be some sort of indication of when it might come back later in the weekend.
So if anyone's actually going to that panel, feel free to live tweet it and throw all the pertinent information in our hashtag, because we're all going to be like, hello, New York Comic Con. What do you have for us? Because literally none of us will be there.
Yeah.
I have friends who are up there right now, and I'm like, go to the Voltron panel, go to Steven Universe.
Yeah.
Here's all the shows that I follow. If you go to these panels, I need
list.
detailed notes. Yes. So let's talk about last one out of Beach City.
Oh man,
bless this episode.
Okay, listen, guys. I need Pearl, the top of Pearl's outfit in a like tank top form immediately, so that I can just dress in the exact outfit that she was wearing in this.
I concur. I want to be.
They
cool
make those,
like
you know.
Pearl.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Think I'll try drinking tonight.
I know.
Oh my God,
I
I wrote down like half of what she said. It's cool because the collar isn't supposed to go that way. Like, oh my God, why are you adorable?
I know. And it was so amazing when she fell in love with the cool girl with the pink hair.
I'm going to say it. She kind of looked like Mom. You noticed. I noticed.
I know.
We all noticed.
That was so good. But like when she walked in and Pearl's initial reaction, just like, I didn't know humans came with pink hair.
She didn't. You have to put
She
stuff
is
in it. It'll...
smitten from the get-go.
She drops her drink.
Oh my God.
Everything. It's just like, oh, hello.
And the fact that, like, once they all end up at the party together, that she just, like, goes in and casually is like, I saved your universe. It's fine.
And
like, you wouldn't be here without me. You're welcome.
By the way, I saved your planet and your species, and you're welcome. Oh my God.
And then she's like, then it was terrible. I don't know. She gave me some code.
I love that we basically get our own little 80s adventure sort of movie.
Yeah.
You know,
Credit sequence and all.
It's the road trip. We got to get to the concert.
I know.
But at the same time, and I love that we can take that sort of storyline and arc and frame it around a lesbian relationship.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
Because in the 80s, you know, it was only the nerdy guy trying to get the girl who was way out of his league.
Or the guy who was already cool, because we all saw Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller's so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so it's really great that we can have this type of story and frame it around this type of relationship.
I totally agree.
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen it before yet. Didn't even blink when it happened in this show. It seemed so natural, and it was just wonderful.
I mean, we've been watching two lesbians in a trench coat for so long on this show that it's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, and I gotta say, I like to, because here's the thing about the Crystal Gems. They are female in appearance. They are not female per se. Yeah. But I love that this female in appearance character legitimately is like having some feelings for like an actual human lady.
And that's the other thing too, is that this is a human. And Pearl hasn't always had the best relationship with humans.
Yeah.
Pearl hasn't always had the best relationship with Greg.
True.
True. But,
bam.
And just the fact that she's willing to go out with Amethyst, I think, says a lot about where she is as a character right now. She's like, I was gonna drink a juice. I'm wearing clothes.
Yes.
I was gonna gently push up against people without actually hurting them.
Yeah.
Instead, I drove to loud music, chased a mysterious woman into the night, and broke the law. I've lost my edge. I should have stayed home with the puzzles. It's like, I think you've got, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That'll mixed up. Mixed up. But yeah, I honestly think that Mr. Greg was her turning point.
Yeah.
Finally starting to get over things and starting to heal.
Yeah.
And that this is an extension of that. We're trying new things, we're moving on, and I've seen a lot of, as much as I hate to use the word discourse, I've seen a lot of Tumblr discourse about this. And some people think that Greg needs to find a new love interest. I don't really think that he needs that as a character.
I don't think he needs that as a character. I mean, I adore Greg, and if it was justified in the storyline and he was going to be happy, of course I'd love that. But
I feel like
Pearl,
it wouldn't add anything.
I feel like Pearl
being
moving on.
able to move on is huge,
much more important. Yeah,
and even if it's just we see her once and Pearl gets a phone number and nothing ever comes of it, okay. But we've seen that Pearl now has the capacity to move on, to be interested in someone else, is no longer 100% invested in someone who is not around and not coming back.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, too, is that Greg seems content with his life. I'm not going to say that he doesn't miss Rose and that there's not problems with his life even though he won the lottery.
Not.
But he's a very content guy. Like, he wins the lottery and he's like, what do I need money for?
He's chill.
You know?
Yeah.
But Pearl has not been content.
No, she has not.
For a long time.
Yeah.
And so I don't think Greg doesn't need a new love interest because Rose was the love of his life.
Yeah.
And even though he misses her, he's still content with where he is in his life.
And with what they had, and I agree with you. It's totally because that was the thing, was that the love between Rose and Greg was, it was mutual, it was reciprocated, and they generated Steven out of it, who's beautiful and wonderful, and you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean, but that was a great way. And we generated a Steven.
I mean, that's basically what happened.
I kind of love generate Stevens.
One day a Steven appears.
It's kind of like hunting for shinies in Pokemon.
But with Pearl, so much of it is her kind of dealing with the fact that, I mean, Rose absolutely loved Pearl in her own way, but it isn't in the way that Pearl loved Rose, and Pearl coming to terms with that, and the fact that, like, Rose really did love Greg. It's huge. As you say, when they went to New York, like, that was definitely the turning point, I think.
Yeah,
so we really needed that. And then this episode was very much a, look how far we've come.
Yeah.
Even if she's not comfortable with anything, even if she's still trying to show the Cups who's boss or whatever, she's trying.
Yeah, and I love seeing how like supportive Amethyst was too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like earlier in the series, even though like they're doing a lot of playful ribbing with each other, I feel like earlier in the series Amethyst would have been like, "No, stay home. I don't want you around. You're gonna ruin it." But here she's like, "Yeah,
go pee.
You're hardcore."
Yeah.
I just left. You can start smaller. Talk to a nerd.
I will say that was amazing.
That was beautiful.
K-Bits in the chat does bring up a really good point, though. The only thing I'm worried about is Pearl projecting Rose onto the mystery girl.
That is a problem.
I actually, though, would like to see that as a storyline because that is something that happens in real life a lot. Which isn't to say that Pearl and Mystery Girl couldn't end up very happy together. I certainly hope that they will, or at least this is a start.
I want to see their first date.
But yeah,
God, yes.
But I would actually like a storyline because that is something that people do in real life. Is we project our ideals of somebody who doesn't exist onto real people, and then are disappointed by. I'm 100% guilty of having done it myself. So I would love to see that kind of storyline tackled.
But I feel like that's something that would have played out differently before Mr. Greg as opposed to after Mr. Greg.
Well, what I'm saying is I think, and this is, sort of prediction-y territory, but like, I feel like we could have an episode where Pearl was doing that, but she would come to the realization, and then there would be a conversation about like, you know what? No, you're not Rose, but I like you as
like you just the way you are.
Yeah.
You remind me of this person that I cared a lot about, as opposed to why aren't you Rose?
Right.
Yeah, and like we already dealt with Pearl doing a lot of the Rose projecting onto Steven.
Oh,
We spent most of the series doing that.
Yes.
So it would make sense, especially in a romantic capacity, if she would sort of pass that on to somebody else.
Yeah.
But especially as Steven's growing more and coming more into his own.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time, it's something where we can spend one episode on it and then move on, and then their relationship, we can see where their relationship goes from there. I like that.
Yeah.
I love the show so much.
Just like
Such a good show, you guys.
Yeah, this is
A++.
great. Rue in the chat is asking if she needs to bring pizza. If you actually send pizza to the studio, I will just
eat it.
lose my mind.
And Renji brings up a good point in the chat. Pearl was in love with a fantasy, not Rose the person.
I totally agree.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
On a pedestal.
Yep. And for the longest time, we had this idealized version of Rose that was presented to us in the show. You know? And now we're learning more and more about the real Rose. And it's a little disillusioning. Yeah.
Seeing all these flashbacks and going, oh, not only do you have problems, but you definitely had to kill people during the war. And that's a rough thing to come to terms with.
And even though, she does love and admire humans so much, she didn't really understand them.
Oh, no.
You know what and that's just so interesting. I mean, she looks at them almost like we look at like kittens or something.
Our cats, yeah.
She's
You're
like,
so
you were
cute and
just
so
adorable.
dumb. Here's the laser pointer.
Yeah. But to be fair, cats
deserve
look
to
at
be
us.
protected.
Well, cats look at people like they're dumb, hairless cats who can't hunt. So
That's true. Dogs understand that we're a different species, but love us anyway. Cats think we're big, stupid kittens.
Yeah.
That's why they meow at us. They only meow at kittens because we can't communicate sub-vocally like they do. This is just Cats, the episode. I regret nothing. Yeah. Do we have anything else to say about Last One Out of Beach City?
Just that it makes me want to go and see a garage band like I did in high school and college. So it makes me want to go and drink a juice and hang out and be cool.
I never had the garage band experience.
Oh,
Really?
girl.
No.
Oh.
If we find a garage band, we will take you. Because this is the thing. I'm kind of like Pearl, where I feel like it's like, I don't really like to go to stuff like that, but every once in a while, you just want a night where you're like listening to a weird band in a garage, like drinking cheap beer until like 5 in the morning.
It's like clubbing once in a blue moon.
I don't need to go into a mosh pit. I've been kicked in the face before.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that. And I like my hearing to an extent. But yeah, it is fun, especially when it's like a small local thing.
Yeah.
It's nice where you can just sit and drink beer and hang out.
No, they didn't really do that in Colorado or in Wyoming. At least not where I was at the time. Yeah, they don't do stuff like that in Wyoming.
We gotta take you out to a garage band concert.
Yeah.
We're in LA. There are tons of concerts.
Yes, I know. I've been to many of them. So, yes, Onion Gang. This episode, I didn't really like it all that much the first time I saw it, and watching it again, it grew on me. I got the appeal. And it was definitely it's the end of summer. We're leaving you for a few months. We don't know when we'll be back.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Here's the thing
is
I was really uncomfortable with Onion's friends, but I think that was the point. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and that was kind of what it was like what Steven realized was that, here are all these sort of misfits who communicate with each other non-verbally, and they're connecting more with each other than I am with anybody. And it's kind of like, it was one of those things where it's like Onion is like this weird little baby kid. No. And he needs friends too, and he has these people who he cares about and who are going to leave him. And I really loved this episode.
Yeah. And I've done this for Onion before. I've moved so many times. People are like, Katie, why don't you keep in contact with people? Because I moved around a lot before Facebook or the internet really existed. So it's like when you move, it's a Jungle Cruise thing. Say goodbye to all the people on the dock. You'll never see them again.
Yeah.
So I've definitely done that before. And I've also done here's a group of friends. Here's a group of friends. Everybody be friends. Oh, God, why isn't this working?
Yeah.
I've
been there, done that, bought the t-shirt.
I've also been on both ends of this for like Onion bringing people together and Steven thinking that, hey, I'm going to be cool and be this cool friend to Onion.
Right.
And then other people get involved and it's like, now I'm the third wheel.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
This is an interesting turn of events.
So it's interesting. I felt that, and I think that the episode, portrayed it this way, that basically, like, that was not Onion's intention at all.
No.
Onion's intention was, I want to bring together all of my friends who I like in one place because I've got all these secret summer friends, and then Steven's my all-the-time friend, so I want everyone to have a moment where they are all together. So
We'll take care of that.
Yep. Party foul.
And I've been in that position. Like I said, I've been on both sides of this, where, like, going home for college, I had so much time, like, on a weekend when I would go home, I'd want to see all my friends that didn't necessarily, but what I didn't realize is that some of my friends maybe just wanted one-on-one time with me. And I didn't realize that. I'm trying to squeeze in as much friend time as I can.
Yeah.
And so, like, this is a good lesson for people to learn of, like, hey, no, not everybody's always gonna get along, but that's okay. We can all still be friends.
Yeah.
And especially, I think that this episode humanized Onion more than any other episode has.
Yeah,
I agree.
We've definitely had episodes about, holy cow, Onion is really kind of weird. And this is just like, but he's also still a little kid who wants all of his friends to get along.
And he still needs like, that's the thing, is, like, everybody needs friends. And I think it also did a really nice job of portraying, like, everyone has their group, you know what I mean? Like, and I also thought with Onion, like, one of the things that sort of was a little jarring for me at first was when they all, like, drove off in the, like, soapbox racer, and they did that bit where Garbanzo pretended to get killed. And then Pinto came and, like, laid hands on him, and he came back to life. And at first I was like, what kind of scheme are they trying to pull? But then it turned out to be fine, because, like, it was just a game that they were playing.
And kids play weird games all the time. Just watch any group of kids playing. I knew kids that, they pretended to be dead on a hill, like, in the vacant lot next to my house when I was a kid.
And the thing about this is, you kind of see, like, Steven's not a normal kid. He has so many issues with things, and he is probably the only one in this group who has seen death up close, who understands the idea of it and its permanence. And so why would you play at death when it's an actual risk in your life? So, of course he would take it at face value, like, oh my God, he's dying, oh my God, he's dead, oh my God, you can heal people. Because that's life for him.
It is. And then...
and so it's like, no, it's just a joke. Oh, okay. And then we have the murder circle for the bug, and that's really weird.
I was going to say that we had the trench
normal
coat
standards.
first.
That's right. We had the 5 children in a trench coat. This show in trench coats, I swear.
That was funny.
And Steven was going to do the, we're two kids in a trench coat. Let's go see an R-rated movie. Except, let's see if he calls us sir. And instead it's, let's go vote. Vote
That was awesome.
hysterical. Oh my God. Which, by the way, you guys should totally vote in this election.
Yes.
If you're in the United States and you're legal, vote.
Yes.
And that's all I'll say about that, because beyond that, it's propaganda. Right now, it's just your civic duty. Yeah, so that was hysterical.
Yeah.
And then I love that they have the little collection of pictures, and that Garnet's is just giving them a thumbs up, like, future vision. She knew. She's been doing the trench coat thing for a while.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So funny. But you were alluding to it. They had the race with the
Bug
bugs.
racing.
Yeah.
And there's people do this with bugs and with turtles and with
frogs. That's what we did.
You did frog race. I don't think I ever did anything like this, but it's still just, it's super cute.
I think we raced kittens at some point.
Wow.
How do you get the kittens to...
My family used to have 2 cats, and so we actually had several litters of kittens when I was growing up that we would give away to neighbors and stuff like that. But yeah, when the kittens were like wandering around, I think we tried to race kittens and
Oh my God.
I don't think it worked.
I feel like that wouldn't... I feel like the most you can do with kittens is like the kitten bowl. Stuff like that. Just like, okay, here's kittens and here's some fluffy things, and just let them go.
Really,
Just let
we're
'em go.
all winners
Cats.
in the cat race.
We are.
It's true.
I think it was was it John Oliver, or whose panel was it that was kittens that were going to watch the debate?
Stephen Colbert, I want to say.
Stephen Colbert, yeah. That's a very Colbert thing. Like, here's a kitten.
But
And there we go.
But anyway,
kittens.
we should start a different
creature
podcast.
racing.
Yeah.
And
So
about
they have-
cats. Yeah,
I would do a
let's-
podcast about kittens.
I don't need to, but we but we have this weird moment, and it sort of gets addressed later in the episode, but it's really weird that they take the winner of the bug race
And just murder it.
Murder it.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I mean, granted, kids do weird things,
Yeah.
especially kids who don't understand like
Life and death.
Right.
And we're back to, again, Steven being like, why do we want to kill things? Steven, who doesn't want to hurt anyone and is coming to terms with the fact that sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, so this is just needlessly.
Yeah, somebody who only hurts people as a last result.
Right.
Being, seeing people like kill things for fun.
Yeah.
That's very emotionally jarring for him.
That is.
Steven never comes out and says, you guys are weird, or this is wrong. The closest he
No.
gets is, bugs are weird, but I don't want to hurt them. It's never, you guys are wrong.
No,
It's,
not at all.
I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
And he only calls them weird when he's by himself. He's like, no more weird friends. It's fine.
Yep.
Time to go talk to my friends.
Yep.
Yeah, so and I feel so bad for him. Like, everyone's busy, everyone's going back to school, everyone's at work, everyone, no one can hang out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, moving a bazillion times, I've been the kid with no friends. It
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Yep.
Spent a year doing that.
And again, everybody's been in that position where you want to hang out with like your friends, but
and none of them are
everybody's busy.
available, and it's hard to like not take that personally, and
Yep.
So then
they're just living their life.
So then you tell your parents that you're bored and you wind up doing chores for your mom. If you're bored, you can do this.
Never tell your parents that you're bored.
very grateful.
Yeah.
I had a sibling, so I was never bored.
I have 2 siblings, and we didn't get along when we were kids. Yeah. So, we find out that these are Onion's summer friends, and that they're leaving.
Yeah.
So Onion just wanted one day of all of my friends, and then it was like, this is an unmitigated disaster.
Which, I can't wait until the start of the next summer for Steven, because it would be so great to see all these like cute little characters come back for another one-off episode.
Yeah.
For Steven to be like, okay, I get it now.
I understand
I'm
you
in it
now.
to win
Yeah.
it.
And you called them silent protagonists from other video games,
Yeah,
right?
we have Garbanzo, the Pokemon, who only says his name.
Oh, yeah.
And then everybody else was a silent protagonist. And we had one person in the chat.
Let's be real, Soup was Frisk.
That's exactly what they said, yes.
Yeah. That's the benefit.
And it was so cute.
Someone photoshopped Soup in the striped shirt, and it's like,
I I've actually
Yep,
seen somebody
pretty
do
sure.
the entire animated like little thing where they basically superimpose Frisk onto Soup, and
Yeah.
it's seamless.
That's
it's
hilarious.
so good.
Yeah.
It's so
I also
good.
saw, I believe it was K-Bits or in the chat mentioned something about I think we probably were talking about cats at the time you made this comment about breeding them to create stronger offspring like Fire Emblem, and I just want to say I appreciate the reference.
It's just like,
I didn't spend hours breeding super children. No.
My little brother's been talking. He talked my ear off about Fire Emblem
So
the
good.
other night.
So good. Anyway,
tells you
moving
where I
on.
come from. My knee-jerk reaction was chocobos.
Oh my god.
Final Fantasy VII chocobos.
Oh my
You wind up
God.
with this inbred thing that can run on water.
Yep.
Like,
A++.
yeah, okay. And that's how you get Knights of the Round.
It's a little messed up.
Totally
It's extremely
necessary.
messed up. But that's also what purebreds are in
Yeah,
real life.
that's
They are
true.
horrifying. Let's bring it back to cats. Scottish folds have horrible genetic defects, which is why they have the foldy ears
I know.
and the horrific joints and are in terrible pain every day of their lives. Don't breed Scottish folds. Adopt cats from shelters.
Just watch Adam Ruins Everything. He'll ruin pet breeding for you
Yeah.
completely.
Don't pure breed. It
Yeah, it's
messes up
terrible.
animals.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
The Egyptians did it with their kings, and we had problems, man.
Yep.
So many problems.
Yep.
To get back, this
Yes.
like I liked that they were all quirky in their own way.
Yeah, I agree.
And even though they like again, none of them communicated, like you still got like very distinct like personality.
Yeah,
to each of
absolutely.
them.
Absolutely true. Yep. I liked it.
It was super cute, and again, it sucks that we had to stop in the middle of
Yeah.
the season.
But it was
again.
oddly a satisfying conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like watching this episode. I kind of want to like go and get like a glass of like hot chocolate or a pumpkin spice latte because it's
Yep.
like it's fall.
Yep.
now.
Yeah.
We can move
Yep.
into the fall season.
Yep.
Well, and this, I think part of the reason I didn't appreciate it as much the first time through was because it's like, okay, that was interesting. I wonder what next week's will be. ... And now it's like, okay, this is ending this particular area of, okay, this makes sense.
Yes,
That they
yes.
ended on this one, which
Yep.
appreciating it more the second time around.
Yep.
All right, do you guys have any thoughts on this one? Any final thoughts?
Just that, like it again. It's sad to see it go, but
As
you
I say,
know,
oddly satisfying.
Someone in the chat just said Adam ruins everything. Just ask Bumblebee shipper.
I get it.
jokes! I'm dying!
I
I
get the
love you!
joke.
Oh my god!
No, the only other thing I want to say about this episode is that it's sad to see it go, but hey, at the very least, see you next summer.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
Hopefully it's not going to be that long, dear god!
I hope not as well, but we shall see.
You never know. All right, so we are going to get into predictions in just a little bit, but we have a bit of a delay. So, Chad, if there's anything you want us to touch on that we didn't yet, now is the time to put it in. In the meantime, we're going to talk to you guys about iTunes. And I had a thing pulled up, and it decided it didn't want to be pulled up anymore. So that is just super helpful for
will
everyone
try.
involved. Nah, I got it.
Okay, you
2
got it.
second fix.
Perfect.
Thank you guys so much for reading and reviewing. For
Listening.
watching, for listening, for subscribing, and for liking, and for rating, and for leaving these reviews. You guys are wonderful human beings, and that is how we stay on the air. When you go to our iTunes podcast, you search AfterBuzz Steven Universe, and we are pretty much the only thing that pops up. And when you subscribe, when you leave a 5-star rating, and when you leave a review saying, yes, we really like this podcast, please bring it back, our producers look at this and say, oh, we want to keep them on the air, so let's keep them doing this. So we have 4 reviews since last time. And the other fun thing is if you leave a review, we read it on the air because you're lovely human beings. We have a Hang On to Their Every Word from Shrimp Special. This podcast is perfect. It's really fun to listen to. It has the perfect blend of humor and thought with attention to detail and a consistent airing schedule, unlike Steven Universe.
Oh.
You can tell they mean business.
Tish.
God bless. We're only consistent as long as they are.
Yes.
Who else is crying? Just Me from Wolf Earth Ninja, which I think has been my favorite review title so far.
All right.
I absolutely love AfterBuzz, and I can't get enough of the Steven Universe podcasts. I always look forward to them, along with its other deep cartoons and anime. Can't wait to hear you guys again when Sword Art Online and Star Wars Rebels come back. Until then, we can all cry together over Steven Universe. Well, Rebels is back. You'll be happy for that. SAO is the big question mark in our futures, and we'll see. Duke Debavana Question mark? There's an H in there that I'm not quite sure I'm pronouncing correctly. Don't you dare, Steven. I see you doing that. This is the wrong podcast. Don't.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
You don't want me to play the Asada-san video?
Steven, I don't have the patience tonight. Plus, we're running
Nice
short on
try.
time, and I have another show after this. But yeah,
There's a movie coming up.
God
Just
help
saying.
us. Duke de Bavana says, AfterBuzz has selected the perfect weeaboos to host this podcast.
Listen, a lot of people on staff at Steven Universe are anime fans. There's a lot of
That's
heavy
true.
anime influence
That's
in this
totally
show,
fine.
so that is correct.
They do an amazing job of deconstructing the show to help you find all the little things you might have missed and gain a deeper insight into this in-depth and moving cartoon by presenting their insightful perspectives in a fun and comfortable way. Thank you. And first podcast for the win by Cravandal. I was sent to Steven Universe podcast by a friend who knows I love the show. It wasn't this one. I searched for more and found this gem. Gem in scare quotes. You're wonderful. I was so happy to find a podcast of solely women, and that was what first drew me in. I want to relate to the people talking, and these lovely ladies just get me. From them talking about all the Steven Universe stuff to the 90s anime references to just being nerdy, beautiful people in general, I cannot get enough of this podcast. It makes me want to go listen to more. Thank you for all that you do.
Awesome.
So, leave a review. It helps us stay on the air, and we will read it out whenever we come back.
Yep.
Whenever that is.
Stay
Gigantic
tuned.
question
It'll
mark.
happen.
So, and that is the show's over.
That's the Oscar
Plus,
playoff.
I don't think we have anything for predictions.
No,
so,
we kind of covered it.
Emma, where can the people find you?
All over the internet at my name, Emma Fyffe, EMMAFYFFE. If you like podcasts that are all ladies, you should totally check out my Sailor Moon podcast. It's called Love and Justice. You can find it in the iTunes store.
Megan?
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. I'm also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, and I write articles for The Movie Chick. That's Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check those out. I just talked about Ruby, the Ruby Volume 4 trailer, and the Dead Men Tell No Tales teaser trailer. So go check those out.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. I do so many things here. Blind Spot is next. Z Nation is on Mondays. Crunch Time is going to start being every week on Mondays, starting the week after next. Star Wars Rebels with all of us is Tuesdays. Woo! Arrow is finally back on Wednesdays. And like I said, I was just recently at the Streamies. All of those interviews are up on AfterBuzz's YouTube channel. If you want to go watch those, I talked to all sorts of fun people. It was great. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you whenever we come back from hiatus. Thank you for sticking with us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Garbanzo!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.